Assyrians practicing Egyptian sciences and preserved the cells of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? When they say that he was on the cross, and then Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea went to him and said, let us have the Father.
There you are.
And he said, well, wait, let's make sure all the limbs are broken, so we can say that he did not crawl down. This is in the Bible. He did not come down the cross and walk away. They're like, we don't care if his limbs are broken, because we know what we need from him. We need to get into his sack. We need to get into his fallopian, not his fallopian. We need to get into his prostate. We got to get into his seminal vessel. The seminal vessel where the semen is, and take out, because I don't care how many women Jesus didn't touch, his body still produced semen. We need that. And once they got that, now it was time to preserve that. And see, the Knights of Templar will tell you, well, what they did is they preserved Jesus' family by transporting it to France. And people looking all over France trying to find the body of Jesus and his sons, and they can't find it. Because those wise men that came in all had that science. When they came to see the boy when he was born, and they knew his destiny, because they said, we've seen his destiny in the stars. They were what? Astrologers or solar biologists, to be better. And they knew what was going to happen to him and when. And they had to pop up on the scene amongst Assyrians and get that seed. And take that seed and then vacate Masada. Pretend they all committed suicide. And hide the tablets up in the Qumran, and then disappear and transport that seed of Jesus all the way to France to protect it. For the day when man could reanimate. Same story, only it wasn't Jesus, it was Horus. Jesus was just a nice Greek name to throw in there. It was an Egyptian story. And they preserved the seed of Osiris to breed his son Horus. And then Horus vowed revenge. And who helped Horus again? Tehuti. Now Tehuti's living during Osiris's time. After Osiris is dead, he's back there with Khnum before Osiris and them were created, when the Agdal and the Enneads was there. He has no beginning of days nor end of life. He is an Alpha and an Omega being. And he passes down through time, and then he pops up again with Horus to show Horus how to get his eye back in, because his eye was taken. His ability to see was removed. But he cut off Seth's testicles. So his ability to procreate would be cut off. There'd be no more Sets to rebel against. And all this was taught by one being. The Bible calls him Melchizedek. The Quran calls him El-Khidir, or Nebi Khidir. He's been traveling all over the world, popping up in everybody's walk of life with a message. He comes to give you that guidance, tell you what to do, to preserve the gods on earth for the great day. The day of resurrection to some people, the day of atonement or rapture to other people. But for that day of awareness, when the God inside you starts to come forth. So again, the journey, my sister, to map or justice is not merely a word in a book or a practice for people to be just. This is Matt sitting here, this sister, down in your genes. And you got to learn to go down inside there and make connection with the gods that exist inside you. And your Bible told you that if you're a Christian. What did it say to you? Huh? Jesus said, you shall do greater works than... I am just the way, the truth, the light. You won't get to the Father, Osiris. Now why? Why the Father Osiris? Because Jesus promised what? Resurrection after death. And who was resurrected after death? Osiris, was resurrected after death and lived again as his own son, Horus. That was an Egyptian story that they stole, your story, and they started putting Latin names on it. Christos, Kyrios, Greek words, things that don't apply to us. German names, God, from Gut. And then blasted me and you. It's called blasphemy. Blasphemy. They blasted me and you in the assembly called church if we dared to question it. If we dared to doubt it. If we used our own God-given faculties to probe one step further and ask whose God is responsible for this mess. We got called bad people. And I said, God is responsible for all the race and hate on earth. That sounds like a bad thing to say. And when I take you to the Bible, in Genesis, and open that chapter up and read that God said, let us go down there and cause confusion. See? Then you want to blame it on us. Because you don't want to say, God sat around in heaven with a group of beings and said, let us go down to earth and cause confusion by making people unable to understand each other. You understand? If God was in heaven and came to earth for the sole purpose of coming into this room and making it so none of us can understand each other, and not understanding each other, created the Irish with their language, Polish with their language, Scottish with their language, and racial separation, difference, and hate for each other, then God is responsible for racism. Right. It's sad, but it's true. The frightening part of that is so true until it's frightening as long as you believe in their God. Exactly. See, as long as you stay in the slave man's or the slave master's God, you are subject to ridiculous beliefs like that. You are subject to believe that the only way God can get a duplicate of himself is to mess up Joseph's family. That he could not have picked a woman that was not already betrothed to somebody. Just think about it before you get mad. You understand what I'm saying? God had a choice of being in the minds and the hearts of every person on the planet. According to them, is that not true? Right, right. So could God have picked a little Jewish girl that was not betrothed to somebody else? That means by betrothed, not already promised to Joseph. Couldn't you have picked somebody nobody knew? Right. Some girl that came out the desert? And wouldn't Jesus have the same power? Because he still had to grow wise or wax wise, and when he still had to learn, he still had to prove who he was, and they didn't believe it, so according to them, they killed him anyway. Is that not right? But couldn't he have just picked somebody without an attachment? Without the hassle of having to tell Joseph, I sent an angel, or we chose Mary? Why not just pick someone right there who nobody knows? Well, she's from the line of David. Pick somebody else from the line of David. Or we'll create one, you're God. You create stuff. You do unicorns and stuff, right? Why that? That tells you, see, that is a warning for the wise. The warning for the wise is a question that God could not leave. God couldn't leave a question or a doubt, because then he loses his potency as God. God makes things clear. So clear that you can't doubt it. I'll give you one. And I'll give you the most important one. You know what it is? You. That's real. Touch yourself. No, you can do the same thing. I saw you look over there. You can do this there. Let's do this. Everybody, let's do this. That's a confirmation. The confirmation that you are here. That's the only real thing you know. And when you look at the guy next to you, you follow there, you gotta say, I don't know, like this guy's over here, and you can't touch him right now. He might not really be here. The only way we find out